Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Diane. It's Dr. Lavelle. Dr. Truman Q. Lavelle. It is 8:37 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. As you have no doubt surmised by my absence from the office, my meeting with Dr. Egon Springfield, officially of the University of the Southwest, has not proceeded in the most expeditious manner. This situation may require my extended presence in Hobbs, New Mexico, that is. The coordinates are as follows. 32 degrees, 43 minutes north by 103 degrees, 9 minutes west. I'll be needing the following.
Why is he being so weird? Who is Diane? Surely he didn't forget my name, did he? Transcribing these messages? They have nothing to do with the morgue, or his research, or any of his weird hobbies. This lab would fall apart without me. The things I do. Well, I do know that his grant administrator is going to be on his ass for all these bizarre reimbursement requests.
Huh? This thing hasn't gone off in months. I haven't done a deal since... Why did I even keep this thing on?
Dr. Lavelle's office, Amelia speaking.
Truman?
I'm sorry, who?
I'm sorry, I mean, Truman? Do you know Truman?
You mean Dr. Lavelle?
Sure, why not? Look, you paged me, and with how you talk, and the fact that you know Truman, I'm guessing you're not looking to score, so why did you page me?
Sir, this is Amelia from Dr. Lavelle's office. I see here that you've submitted reimbursement requests for $90 worth of dry cleaning. How is that relevant to Dr. Lavelle's current research?
Oh, Money Lady. Yeah, he told me you might call, so, look, there was this old book that we needed for our research, and in the course of securing the book, I got some blood on my Poindexter outfit.
You're what? Who is bleeding? Did you contact staff health?
My suit, my dress clothes? For the meeting with Dr. Springfield and his assistant, Dr. Cardiff? It was Cardiff's blood. I assume he went to the school nurse, if that's what you mean.
Dr. Pliskin, was it? Universities don't have school nurses. We have staff health.
Right, yeah, that's what I meant. Hey, sorry, I gotta run. I've got to pick up some more meat so that we can fold its proteins over at Dr. Springfield and Dr. Cardiff's house this afternoon. I'll send you the reimbursements for that one too. Thanks, bye.
Hello, yes?
Dr. Lavelle, it's Amelia.
Who else would you be? Who else would be calling me?
You keep saying Diane. Never mind. Your grant people are asking about reimbursement charges again. Why did you have $88 in copy machine charges?
I absolutely did not submit an $88 charge for copy machine. I don't know anything about that. Well, I suppose that I did submit one for $88.11.
Yeah, that one.
Well, why did you say $88? It was $88.11.
Truman.
Sorry. So sorry. I don't really understand. Why are you mad? You said it wrong. It was 8811. What?
Just tell me about the charge.
Well, so, we found this book. It's the Lesser Keys of Solomon. I can't really explain it, and I, don't really have any idea if this actually is relevant to future research projects, but these religious zealots down here seem to have yellow pages for demons, I guess, and I found it fascinating, and I must have gotten away from myself, and I made several copies of the book for backup purposes, and I guess I forgot to turn my copy card in and left it on the copy machine, and I guess one of the students from the university took it upon themselves to make more copies. So again, it should have only been a couple dollars, but $88.11 for my copies and somebody else's perhaps.
Did you at least try to explain the situation and appeal the charges?
What? You appeal the charges? But I would have to talk to somebody, though.
Truman.
Oh, hi, Amelia.
Yes, hi. This is Amelia from Dr. Lavelle's office. You have several odd reimbursement requests. There's a $50 donation to the senatorial campaign of Glenn Taylor. It's from like decades ago. Why should Dr. Lavelle's grant pay for that?
Yeah, Glenn Taylor is an adjunct professor of philosophy at the University of the Southwest here, where we're at. He teaches some class about Christian esotericism and, what is it? Like agoraphobia or arachnophobia. Let me just... Hey, FP, do you have that class list? Okay, yeah, apocryphophobia? I don't know. Anyway, he's helping us go through the Lesser Key of Solomon. Did Furman tell you about that? Hey, Furman, did you tell Amelia about that? Okay, yeah, good. So yeah, he knows about this stuff, I guess. He was my senator back when I lived in Idaho. Weird dude, but pretty smart.
But that doesn't explain why you submitted...
I was going to submit reimbursement for a Walgreens purchase of several of my inhalers. I have a lung condition and need them. I lost my originals in the lake here. Hope that's okay. Thanks, Amy.
Hello?
Yeah, have I reached Senator Taylor?
Yeah, this is Glenn. Dr. Taylor now.
This is Amelia from Dr. Lavelle's office. I've been following up on reimbursement requests for Dr. Lavelle's, colleagues. I've literally never heard of you before today.
What?
Nothing. I need you to explain several $100. A total of $420.69 for the following: mushrooms, charges from the Durham Solid Deli and Nutritional Institute, a Chris Gaines tour poster, mint condition.
Oh, yeah. See, Chris Gaines is an aspect of Garth Brooks, taking on a darker and harder sound while retaining what really made Garth, well, Garth. Similarly, Bodis could be seen in some scholars' eyes as an aspect of Nuada, while others would argue that he is separate, and the fact that he became his right hand meant that he could not have been merely an aspect of his godhood. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Christian concept of the Godhead, but more historical Abrahamic religions tend to view things as parts of a whole, while later interpretations, like the Mormons, they see it as separate entities, maybe sitting at the same table. I guess there's always a subtext of anthropomorphism that drive eschatologic focus.
I'm
speech,
hanging up.
So,
Triple B's Candy Shop, delivery or carry out.
Seriously, $114 for masks?
Moneypenny, you're going to appreciate this one, I promise. See, Dr. Taylor says that Bodis needs masks as, I guess it's like the reagents I use for chemistry experiments, but instead of Sudafed, Bodis uses masks. And instead of riding the white tiger, the mask let him ride a human vessel in exchange for knowledge. In this case, I guess the knowledge was Egon's protein magic knowledge? Look, long story short, we could have blown a shitload on fancy masks, but I figure it's almost Halloween, right? We go down to the corner store, pick up some masks for pennies on the dollar, and bam, we're set. Totally saving money on this one. Honestly, the grant people should be thanking us this time.
Mama needs a mudslide from Applebee's.
How hard can I push you guys to investigate this Burger King?
I think it'll just take a little, like,
Yeah,
to push
the
us over the
slightest
edge.
push to get you guys to dismantle this Burger King.
Looking for people who look like us
Like, are you
hiding in the
Bodis?
Burger King.
Bodis! Screaming around the Burger
I knew it.
It never made it into my notes, but as I was listening today in preparation for this, I was just like, oh, that was fucking weird.
Yeah, there was that. There were a couple of, that was one of the things that I was like, I don't want to railroad this or like call attention to it beyond what we paid. But there were a few instances of like other us's running around town.
Yeah,
and
there
us
were.
rationalizing it away.
Yep.
Hey, when we were in the lobby, there was an APB put out on a car like ours. That should be a public thing, right? Can we like pull up the APB somewhere and look at the plates that they reported for the APB?
Can I roll bureaucracy to see if like there's somebody that I can call?
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see what Sam says.
Yeah,
but-
just do it. We'll play the game. Who needs a game mother?
Yeah, roll.
Game mom. That is a 40 on a 50. If
Nice.
he lets us
At
do
the
it.
very least, the police have to have like a non-emergency number that's open, right? We could probably just call, 311 or something like that, and be like, hey, I think I might have seen the thing that you guys put out the APB on. What was the number on that? It's got to be a 24-hour thing, I would think.
As long as
Big
Sam's
gulps,
cool
eh?
with it, as long as Sam's cool with it, I think I'll just call the like my lab, which I think that because I'm like the person who takes like all of like the crimes, like the bodies and shit from crimes.
That makes sense. They could probably pull that up too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, while we're talking about calling your lab, was there a reason that we didn't want to just ask them about the book? I assume that your all's organization has, I mean, this seems like a book that you recognized in passing, so I would think an agency like yours would have someone who just knows about this stuff, right?
From what I know about our agency it is just as much shadow as it is substance. And I'm not entirely sure how official we are.
Okay. Oh, okay.
FP, you are a drug dealer
Yeah.
and are only hanging out with us because of the butt plug incident.
Yeah, I have been thoroughly confused about that since it happened. And I don't know if I ever asked you guys why you were out there in the first place, but that's a story for another time. Maybe let's,
That's how you became involved in this organization, and that's how we became involved with this organization. And
you guys got involved because of the butt plug thing too?
yeah, something like that.
Oh, I thought you'd been in it longer than that, but all right. Apparently, picking up a random hitchhiker with a butt plug is enough to get you inducted into a government agency these days.
Can we actually, like, I have Fredrickson pull over, and I pull my chainsaw out of like my little like hidey hole of the Isuzu Rodeo, and then I make like a crazy ass cut like in the concrete through just everything. Yours was a butt plug, mine was a chainsaw, and then he puts it away, gets back in, and figures that would explain everything.
Yeah.
Like, Fruman, you have to stop doing that.
Not everyone needs to see your chainsaw.
I stand there for a minute looking at this like concrete that you carve through like butter, and after a minute you just hear me say to myself, damn it, all I got was a butt plug?
I got nothing, so count yourself lucky. I got all these fucking
You got
burns.
COPD.
COPD of the devil.
Yeah, I got bonus COPD.
All right, cool.
Hey, Sam, while you were gone, I rolled a bureaucracy and a 50, and I rolled a 40. Can I call my lab and have like Amelia pull up the APB from the car and see what is on that, like what information that they have about that?
Yes, but you need to give me a second.
33 40 106 28517W.
What'd you roll? You rolled bureaucracy for that?
Yeah, just thinking, because I mean, because my lab is like adjacent to the police, because they send me the murder bodies and stuff. And so I figured that there's some sort of interface that we could potentially.
Yeah, say like from a forensic standpoint, you need.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. You can get the license plate. I'm going to write that down.
And like why the APB was called out, the description of the people driving it, and sort of the circumstances.
Yeah. You get a license plate. It is, wait, how many numbers and letters are a license plate?
6 usually.
Depends on the state.
Depends on the state.
All right, you ready for some shit?
Yes.
Sure.
So you find the APB, or you call, takes a while. Who's the lady who's the bond for that?
The love of my life, Amelia Hendrickson.
Yeah, what did Amelia sound like? Oh, hey. I think she was very like throaty, if I remember correctly.
That's more than
Truman's
throaty.
Truman's into a throaty gal.
She's a throat goat, what they call her.
Hey, Truman. Yeah, I can get that APB. Give me a second.
She's truly just the lady from Monsters, Inc.
Yeah. I have 2 receptionists, like front lady thing, and it's Monsters Inc. lady and Janine. So those are your choices.
Yeah, looks like it's Canadian license plates.
Is that all you have, Amelia? What is the rest of the APB?
No, let me
say?
finish. Thank you.
So
I miss you.
the APB was out for 2 suspects, male, female, and it looked like they'd been trespassing on private property. And the car is a Isuzu Rodeo. I don't know what that is.
What color?
Colors your guys is a Suzu.
I think it's just silver.
I was gonna say I thought ours was red, but
Yeah,
Oh,
the
it's
picture
re-
we
it
pulled
is
up
red.
was like a maroonish red.
Seafoam green.
very specific.
Yeah, that's how APBs work. Person, I don't know who I'm talking to.
Amelia, what have you been doing since I've been gone?
Well, Terrence has fucked everything up, so I've been cleaning up after that little shit.
I'm glad you added up to that sentence, because I thought you were just going to say fucked everything.
We can't get Terrence to stop humping. We need you back here.
I probably shouldn't tell you my name. I'm friends with Dr. Lavelle. Lavelle?
Nice. So am I. Totally platonic.
He's a cool dude. He's teaching me lots of stuff. It's like a dad
guys,
I never...
Guys, stop. Amelia, I miss you. I'll be back soon.
All right. Yeah, he just keeps humping. So maybe you can come back and knock some sense into Terrence.
Maybe. Okay, thanks. Okay. Yep.
Click.
So that was helpful.
So they trespassed on private property. It was a different color rodeo, Canadian plates.
I do like that we circle back like 3 episodes later to clues I give you. I really enjoy this.
I think that's just the consequence of the not playing for like 6 months. And then all of us reading the notes and re-listening to the episodes today and being like, oh shit, we fucked that.
Oh, it turns out we didn't investigate. No, you guys did a great job. I really enjoy it. Sometimes I think I throw a lot of stuff at you.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's always Game Mom's fault.
I think that we need to have a discussion with you about the sort of implications of Chekhov's gun.
It always is shooting because Chekhov be popping. Is that what you're talking about now?
Yeah. Perfect. Never mind. We don't need to have the conversation because
we've discussed now. You now all understand what Chekhov's gun is.
Okay. Well,
I think I'm providing quite a few of Chekhov's guns. The problem is that you guys are like,
I didn't necessarily imply that you were the problem.
Perhaps we were the problem.
Perhaps we're staring at the mantle and there's 30 guns and we choose not to see a single goddamn one.
Yeah, it is enjoyable for me. So
look at the moon outside the window.
This is a beautiful home you have here.
Why is there no fire in the fireplace under this mantle?
It must be the lack of flame. Can we investigate this?
What type of stone is this?
Have we checked what Burger King has to say about this mystery? Okay, what do you want to do? What were you even doing?
So we just got the APB back. Did she have any pictures of these people, or is there any traffic cameras or anything?
No.
Is there a name for the people?
No, it's a Canadian license plate. They're going to run it.
Oh, and then they'll let them know. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's probably, like 10 o'clock?
It took us 6 hours to order from Burger King.
Oh.
It definitely feels that way as the GM.
I guess I thought we went over there at like 7, so I guess.
I did too.
So it took us 3 hours to order from Burger King. Same argument.
Okay, it's like 8 o'clock.
So FP's sitting there and he's like, so we've got the senator working on the book. I think there's something up with Cardiff. We could just go brace him at any moment. And he's a Poindexter, so he might fold. Unless, what was the senator saying about this body exchange? What if Cardiff is like this old whatever?
That he's not Boris. He's
FP, these are like fables or myths or something. Like, this isn't real, but...
Yeah, that's a fair point, because if he is this old god, then apparently my head can cause an old god to get a nosebleed, and that seems unlikely, so fair enough.
Sure, okay.
FP's sitting there and he's like, can I headbutt an old god?
Do gods bleed?
What is the power of this butt plug I've been wearing all day?
Can gods wear butt plugs?
Well, the problem is it's Sunday. I would wanted to go look at some old records about the lake to see if there's stories about it being formed.
Yeah, and you guys would never break into somewhere to look at records.
Can we go break into somewhere to look at records?
I like how you act like Sunday. You're like, well, it's the Lord's Day. We can't work too hard. No, if you guys want to go, if you want to go home, whatever you want to do, this is your game. I'm just living it.
You know, sometimes whenever you have a big day planned, like a big heist for the next day, it pays off to just get rest.
Sure. Yeah, because we've got the party tomorrow.
If we take a step back, what are we even doing here?
We are investigating
protein folding.
Yeah, the Dr. Springfield and what's happening here. So yes, we have a decent amount, but we don't know what the mask is. I think that's maybe a key we should try to figure out.
One thing too that we haven't done as much because it hasn't been campaign work. It hasn't been like a campaign game. It's totally reasonable to call into your handler.
Oh, that's
I was
right.
just thinking about that. Completely reasonable if at some point you guys want to call your handler.
Well, I mean, we have the book, we have all of the hard drives, and we have a device that's going to cause a fire. And so the discovery should be shut down. We have all of that data, which was like essentially why we were sent down here.
That is true. Well, do you want to call our handler and see if they want more information other than what we have, or
what's our relationship with this person? Like, how much of like the stuff that we were sort of like joking about previously?
I don't know. What do you want I was telling Jimmy this because Jimmy asked why you guys showed up in the truck to pick FP up, right? And I said, to me, I really like doing intro scenarios with you guys because it gave you a framework, but it didn't require a lot of like, this is how things are. And the same thing with like picking Jimmy up. It's like a nice thing to be like, you did that. And then I don't have canon for any of this stuff that like written down. And so whatever reason you guys were driving by at that time, was it because you were finishing a mission? Was this happenstance? Fine. Was this you were told to be there? Fine. Whatever you guys think you want to do. And then the same thing with the handler. I think having the handler as a gray area right now is good because it can be anything you guys want the handler to be. I have plans for this relationship. It doesn't even have to be this handler specific, but I have plans for the next couple chapters. But to me, like whatever you guys want it to be. So I would put that back on you three. What do you want the relationship with the handler to be like? What's the most fun?
I think it may be like I've known this handler for a long time.
Sure.
And we like tolerate each other, but like he'll be helpful, but always seems very exasperated about.
Yeah. And that's a true handler should always be like mildly exasperated what they're doing. It's like, in my mind, being a handler is like the same thing as like being an academic physician where you're constantly been like, oh, you're also on this committee. Also, you're doing this. Also, you're doing this kind of thing. And so you're always just kind of like, to like absolutely everything because your main goal is to get out there and do some shit because like Egbert is in E cell obviously because you guys are in F cell and you guys report to E cell who then reports to D cell who blah blah blah, right? And then eventually you guys will probably have some communication with G cell below you, but you don't know D cell, right? And you don't know H cell. You just know the one above you and you know the one below you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just like with the era that it is with, because I mean, this is Cowboys era, and again, you only know the people above you, the people below you. But I think that there's always like an air of skepticism, like, are we committing crimes?
Yeah.
Or like, are we helping the government? And so I think that sort of is like probably like Fruman's understanding, because there's lots of black and white in medicine and the forensics and like his dealings with the police.
Especially forensics. Yeah, I feel like forensics is very much right because it's where biology and medicine meets the law. And so that makes sense to me.
And so I think that Fruman's relationship with this person is sort of like understanding that there's like something bigger going on that he doesn't really understand and like wants to understand more, but like also with a heavy dose of skepticism and is this right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me. I would imagine that Fruman and Fredrickson have that view. FP, I imagine, has no idea really, and maybe even has an opposite.
Yeah, I think, well, and even kind of, Sam, I think you were away for a second while we were talking about this, but I even kind of in character asked Fruman, like, hey, don't you guys have, I mean, like, you recognize this book enough to know that it was important and weird. Can't you just call someone in your agency to give you a report? Like, if you have a 3% knowledge of this book and it's not even something in your area, then someone in your organization has to have like 100% knowledge of this book.
Right.
So Fruman or FP is sort of operating under the assumption that like, this is a legitimate government organization that he just hasn't heard about. I mean, again, this is 1998, like height of X-Files, height of like kids wearing like alien t-shirts and stuff. And so he's thoroughly, based on pop culture, there's totally secret government agencies that know about all this stuff. And apparently that's what these guys are a part of. And so he thinks this is all above board and legit, even though it's super secret. So he's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, we get the orders and they must be telling us for some reason, you know, if push comes to shove on the ground, he's not just going to like, you know, march into a furnace because he has a strong sense of self-preservation. But, you know, he assumes that everything that he's being told and that this organization is like a real and well-defined thing. It's just super top secret, ultra above top secret, whatever.
Yes, I really like that. And that's actually this whole thing, which we didn't really do like a session 0, which I guess could have been helpful. But to me, this will be a theme that I have baked into the next couple chapters. So this is not just a little bit of fluff. This is like a theme of things that could potentially occur throughout. There is a reason why I picked late 1998 as the setting for this. So defining this, and I think we did a disservice by not talking about all this, but defining your relationship with this Agent Eggert is like a good idea, and I really love the idea that Fruman and Fredrickson are very skeptical, whereas FP is more like, this is a part of, like, we're doing governmental work, because those are opposing viewpoints that could be important, I think, later with things that occur.
I mean, I think from this standpoint then...
Yeah, I probably... I mean, I'm sure I have a cell phone for this group, so I think I probably am like, well, let's just... Can't hurt to call Egbert. At least, you know,
That's
maybe...
Eggert.
Oh.
Sorry.
You said Egbert.
Another
didn't you?
point of contention between them.
I call him Egbert.
It's been 20 years and you're still calling him Egbert.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Okay. But I know that it's Eggert, but I know that it fucking pisses him off.
But yes, if you want to call Eggert, you totally can.
Yeah, I think I would like to call Egbert.
What are you going to ask Eggert? And then I have to have like 2 seconds to think about this.
Well, I think it's a great idea. We should call him. I mean, call Egbert, and we can tell him, you know, kind of explain what we have. And I don't know, like, Fruman, what kind of questions do you think? I think I'm just gonna try to get some clarification on what he means by investigate. I need to know if there's like a goal, or I think I need some more specifics.
No, we're done. We have the data from the hard drive. It's gonna have an unfortunate accident tomorrow, and now we're invoking some sort of like bullshit demon thing. No, that is not scientific. We have the science behind this. We can go give it to the folks higher up the chain. We've done our job.
Yeah, what he said. They sent us to figure out how they're making these magic sandwiches, and we've got the data on the drives. They can figure it out.
All right. I mean, we'll see what Egbert says.
No, I mean, fuck that guy. Like, just turn it in. We had our marching orders from the very beginning. I think we're done.
Fruman, you know it's never that easy.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
You're right, but it's bullshit.
I know,
Fucking
man.
call him.
Let's just call him. We'll give it our best shot.
Can you do that? Just tell your boss to get fucked? Is that an option?
No, it's not. This is
like
the
that
same as
option.
any other job.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That makes sense. I didn't know how it worked.
Bring, 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 bring.
You know that when you call Eggert, that it almost goes to voicemail, and then he'll pick up. This is a burner phone for him, and he only answers things that like know the pattern. There is a click. Yeah. Hello, Eggert.
Hey, Egbert.
I knew it was coming, and I'm still laughing about it.
It's
Yeah, I know who it is.
It's Fredrickson.
I know.
F-Cell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've got Fruman, and I don't know if you met FP, the new one. Kid.
Fake Pliskin.
just-
Hey, I'm
Okay.
Agent Pliskin.
All right. Anyway, Egbert, we think we've kind
Nice
of
to
reached
talk
the
to you,
end
Egbert.
of the road here potentially. So we've got the some hard drives. We've got a spell for a demon. And I mean, I think I think we're pretty much done.
So you know how they did all this? You've contained the vector?
Well, you weren't very specific in your goals for us, so that you would like us. It's not just investigate, because technically we've investigated.
Fredrickson, how long have you been with us?
Over 10 years.
And how often has the mission fucking changed?
It hasn't.
And so you've contained the vector.
And I look over at Fruman and I'm like, no, we haven't
Yes.
contained the vector.
We have the vector in our hands on the fucking hard drive. How do we misfold the proteins? We have the data right here.
I just hold the phone over to to Fruman. I hold it up as he's talking with his hands.
Eggert, we have how the proteins are folded. What more do you fucking want? What is the vector here? The vector is the folding of the proteins.
How did they come to this?
And you just see Fredrickson like fold his arms over his chest and kind of give you like a look that's like, what did I tell you?
How did Alexander Fleming find penicillin? Dumb fucking luck. These people are fucking idiots.
I see. So the vector is dumb fucking luck.
He said synergy 4 times when we talked. Synergy.
Unfortunately, I'm unimpressed. You can leave if you want. We can call someone else. It's up to you. You let me know.
No. We'll see this through. So the vector. Okay.
If you wanted more than just the protein misfolding, what else are you not telling us that you guys know?
I think you understand this. I know 1% more than you know. That 1% is that something is happening there and somebody needs to stop it. Quite honestly, I don't give a shit if you burn the whole town down. It's some podunk piece of shit college. Now, if you want some explosives, I'm happy to have some dropped off at the green box.
Sure. Just in case. Let's have some dropped off.
That's like 5 hours away.
That's what I was just thinking.
You have a car, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I get. Oh, sorry. I'll shut up.
I just get the feeling you're not telling us something. Like this 1% bullshit, like, again, we have the thing that we were interested in, and now you're saying that something else is going on.
Well,
and if there's something else going on, I feel like you're not telling me something that could get me fucking killed.
And I kind of elbow him, grab the phone, and attempt to just end the phone call.
I think as you're clicking end, you just hear him say, "That's the game, brother." And then the phone call ends.
I'm like, that's been every mission we've been on, Fruman. I'm like, why is this one so much different?
I'm a man of science, and I fully understand that there are things that we don't understand. And before we understand them, they fucking seem like magic or gods or demons or whatever the fuck. This asshole happened to come up with this. Again, sometimes you get high and you take some LSD and you fucking visualize a double-stranded helix for DNA.
Carl Sagan.
There's something else that he's not telling us.
I feel like I'm out of my depth here, and
I'm like, there's always shit they're not telling us. Let's just get through this one. We've been through it before. We just I think really we just need to figure out who has the mask. And once we have that, we can, I don't know, burn this whole fucking place down, or we can kill the person with the mask and move on with our fucking lives.
I don't think that this is a thing.
Excuse me?
We're going to track down a mask to find a demon who's giving knowledge to Rick fucking Springfield.
Have you not been on several other Delta Green missions before?
We've always had a plausible scientific explanation.
I disagree.
We're always just a half a step short of being able to explain it. This is like bullshit fantasy stuff.
Sure, Fruman. What would you have us do? FP. Let's hear from the peanut gallery.
we got the book from Cardiff, right?
Yes.
Let's just go brace that guy, like I mentioned earlier. Where'd he get the book? Why does he have it? What's he been doing with it? You know, when somebody shows up with my drugs and I don't know how they got them, and I didn't get paid for my exchange to them, I don't pussyfoot around with other stuff. I go rough the guy up and I say, "How'd you get my drugs?"
Yeah. We also have a party tomorrow at the very house of the person who we are suspecting is behind a lot of this. So maybe all it's going to take is another day.
I don't know if I mentioned this to you guys, and I don't know if it's relevant. I couldn't tell you this because I couldn't fucking talk at the time. But Springfield's been awake for like a week straight, and he is totally on drugs. He's like tweaking out of his gourd.
Oh.
I don't know why. And it kind of slipped my mind because of all the other... It's been a rough 24 hours. Like, it feels like we've packed 6 months into the last 24 hours.
That's true.
I know the feeling.
And I completely forgot to mention it because... there was the whole, like, I can't talk, and then I headbutted a guy who's potentially a demon, but I still caused his nose to bleed, and then
He's not a demon.
Well, yeah, my point is, there is something weird with Springfield, but I'm not convinced he's the guy. He seems like he's on his last legs, right? Like, whatever he's doing, he's desperate, right? Because a guy like that doesn't take drugs for a week to try and stay up. Like, he's on crunch time for whatever that reason that is. I don't know. But he's, there is something in the past week that has had him bent so out of shape that he's, willing to take drugs that a person like him wouldn't normally take to try and cram it in. Whatever that is, I don't know. So, FYI, shit, I can't talk at the barbecue tomorrow either. All right, fair enough.
I fucking love that so much.
I am just so frequently shocked that you're capable of those insights and then some of the other shit.
Yeah,
He
there's
contains
flashes.
multitudes.
It's all the way back to that.
All right. Well, do you want to go rough up
John Cardiff.
Do we know where he lives?
It's kind of late. We could put on some costumes and just break into his house. He wouldn't even know it's us, especially if I talk, because he thinks I'm mute.
That's true. He does think you're mute. So we're gonna break into his house and
3 in a row.
And
good idea.
And we're gonna corner him in his house and ask him about this book.
I feel like we should go into his house like a Code Red sort of, where you hold him down and smack him with a bar of soap and a sock.
Oh God!
I got an idea. Let's get some radiation suits and a Walkman. I saw this in a movie once. It worked really well. And then we blast him, and we can tell him that we're from the future, and we work for Bodis, and he has to tell us where he got our book.
Perfect. We should absolutely do that.
Great idea and simple.
So straightforward.
I mean, who's going to believe him? Well, I guess if Springfield's the actual guy, then Springfield might believe him.
Well, and
we're going to get radiation suits at 9 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night.
Didn't we figure out that Cardiff and Springfield are a couple? So they're probably...
That was a subtext, I think. But
yes.
I don't know if that was ever explicit. Can I roll human retroactively?
I have in my notes, I get the impression that they are a couple.
They have been partners for 20 plus years.
Yeah, so there's a chance they just stay in the same house.
They're strictly platonic lifetime roommates.
All right, do we have his address?
Yeah.
What Mansion Avenue?
312 Mansion Avenue.
Oh, I thought that was Springfield's address.
And
they live at the same place.
Me higher.
And then
they live together. Okay. So Springfield's definitely going to be there is what we're finding out. Okay. And everybody knows it. So this is really not a bargaining chip whatsoever.
Should we go get some tools of the trade?
I really thought you were going to say Burger King. And I was like, fuck. Back to this well.
Tools of the trade, like things to break into a house?
Think of more torture implements, but
you were planning on torturing him.
I mean,
maybe use some of the drugs I brought to make them more pliable, suggestible.
Yeah, it worked for MK Ultra, so.
Yeah, we can go to the potted plant in the food part of the lobby.
Take me to your food part. I think we found the vector.
All right, so we go back to the hotel, motel, Lucky
Holiday
to
Inn.
Inn, and they're having an excellent dinner, courtesy of Lucky to Inn.
Yeah, there's a banner that says excellent dinner, and then underneath it says breakfast for dinner.
We drive back, I go get my drugs, we load up on breaking and entering gear, and then we drive to the guy's house.
Masks, duct tape,
rope.
Where do you put all... Jesus, okay, what do you put all that in? This is darker than I...
In the rodeo, duh.
Is it in a bag?
Yeah, duffel bag, whatever, backpack.
Okay.
Do you think we could just ask him what it is?
No.
Knock on the door and just ask?
Sure.
Why don't we try that first?
Yeah, okay, fine.
A light goes on in each one of your... I see behind your eyes. We could just talk to this guy, actually.
So all of the missions that we've done together, and you're calling me out about science versus the supernatural, and you think that we just get to roll in and talk to a demon, and they're just going to be chill with it? Let's go ask them.
Hold on. I got a plan.
Hey, demon, what you doing?
Wait, no, I got it. Let's drive to their house. Let's drive to his house.
We give it a try.
I got a plan.
What's your plan? You have to tell us first.
Can I have the book? Okay.
No.
Give him the book.
No.
Okay, tell us your plan. Because the last time you ended up swimming very fast in the lake.
That wasn't a plan. That was the whole thing. I'm working on it, okay? All right, so I go up there in my Poindexter outfit, and I knock on the door, and when he comes to the door, I write on my paper pad, "I'm sorry, I think I accidentally grabbed your book, but then I forgot it somewhere, and I just wanted to let you know." I can't give it back to him because you won't give me the book to give him.
I don't want...
And then I say, hey, what, it's like I'm trying to bring his book back. This is awkward to try and do when I can't talk to the guy.
Well, then this is a bad plan. I think we just go knock on the door and just say, what is this? It worked the last time. We got a lot of information from Glenn.
Yeah, but Glenn was not a typical human.
Okay, well, we have to do something, so let's drive over there.
Okay, and just ask him. And then if he doesn't answer our questions, an hour later, we break into his house while he's asleep and threaten him to tell us the
answers.
answers.
Say then we start threatening him if he doesn't just answer. We're already there.
This is going to make the barbecue tomorrow really awkward.
Then do we just wait for the barbecue?
Why don't we make the barbecue tonight?
No. I'm not killing these people right now.
I will throw this out there. You guys seem to struggle with what to do with your time. We're in this weird time period of do we wait till tomorrow or we do it tonight? Which do you want to do? Wait till tomorrow or do it tonight?
I've been a fan of Nike my whole life.
Just do it. Fantastic.
Just do it.
All right.
I pull off my Reebok track tear-off pants, and underneath I have Nike tear-off pants.
Game Mom seems so distraught about this conversation.
All right. We drive over to 321 Mansion Avenue. Is that what it is?
312. You don't even make it rhyme anymore. 321. 123 Mansion Street.
Okay, so we're there, and I'm like, all right, do you guys want me to try and, like, worm my...
The discussion continues. You guys are just, like, having this argument all you weave through the streets in this, like, tiny college town. I love that so much.
Okay, all right. You know what? You
No,
guys are the
I
experts
think as
here.
you guys are both talking, I just walk up to the door and I'm like,
I was going to say, I would hand you the book and be like, okay.
Okay, well, then I stand there with Fredrickson.
is anybody answering the door?
I'm moping in the background.
I'm writing out a whole thing on my notepad that explains, like, I'm sorry, I accidentally picked up your book earlier today. I couldn't help but look at it. What an interesting book. Could you tell us more?
I see it and I'm like, all right, well, let's try it.
Door opens. It's you, Gregory. And, right. You can't talk. Okay.
He has something to ask.
What does the note say again? Jesus
So the note says, I'm sorry, I accidentally picked up your book that you dropped when I headbutted you earlier today. Sorry about all the blood. I wanted to bring it back. I couldn't help but notice after I picked it up that it's a very interesting book. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the apology. Sure. What do you want to know? Can I have the book back?
Just tell us about it first.
What do you want to know?
Where did you get it?
Is he holding anything?
He is not. So he has come to the door. You see he is dressed in his what looks like pajamas. So he's got some like pants on, like and a little shirt, both navy blue. He has bandages over his nose and 2 rhino rockets, one shoved up each nose, and his face is starting to bruise a little bit from the injury he sustained from FP. Behind him is the entryway into the mansion. You can see that it looks like there's a dining room where the light has been turned on. And then the front of the mansion, there is a light on in the rightmost corner of the mansion from you guys looking at it. And then it looks like everything else is dark. Well, I've been doing a bit of research. It's kind of a personal matter.
Care to elaborate?
Not particularly. It's a bit personal. And you stole my book.
Well, found is more of really what it was. Furman, do you have any questions for him? I like yell over my shoulder, try to get him to stop sulking in the back.
Can you guys give me a human, everybody?
Oh God, we're so bad at this.
I'm doing this, which is the sign for sorry.
I'm spending 7 luck to pass.
Okay.
If nobody else passes.
I passed 18 on a
nice.
50.
You have 50 in human?
I switched some of my criminology over to human because it didn't make sense for me to have as much criminology as I did.
Okay.
I think
I
standing
got a
there.
55
Which is a crit fail.
out of 10.
Huh.
Maybe do this as like a closed thing because I also can't talk and tell him what I read. And I feel like this isn't really like a group human. Like human doesn't
it's
seem like a
not.
group skill.
Oh, okay. This is all unfortunate. Sure. Why don't FP take your headphones off, and I'm gonna tell the failures what they think.
Well, I was gonna spend 7 luck, so I knew.
Okay, then you have to go away and don't listen.
Okay.
33 40 63810.
I don't know how you want to handle the critical failure.
Yeah.
I don't want to push you in any direction.
No,
or
I'm
not.
happy to hear.
What I was getting ready to say, he's like talked about this personal stuff. Fruman is like sulking in the back and he wanted to roll in. These people are fucking frauds.
Yeah.
Maybe they like bubble fucked their way into this discovery. Maybe they, stole from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on the cusp right before you did the roll of saying, you guys don't have the capabilities of doing this. You don't have the education. You don't have the money. You don't have the supplies. Be like, I don't care whatever your personal research is. Like, I don't really understand like what this fucking book has to do anything. I don't understand what these fucking cufflinks have. And he like holds up the cufflinks.
Ooh, I love that.
So tell us about all of this shit. And so that's like what he was on the cusp of doing when you asked for the human role.
I guess, do we just want you to yell that at him? And then that's...
Because I can't hold it back.
Yeah, I mean...
Like that's my critical failure.
Yeah, I like that, actually. Because otherwise, this happened last night where somebody rolled a human, they failed, and I was like, you like this person. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I failed, so like, obviously this is not... I like that. If you want to role play that as your thing, that sounds good, because then we can just bring them back. You can kind of shout, and then... I'll tell them really quickly what they sense from all that. And what we can do, actually, is you can do all that stuff. Then you just don't listen for a second, and I'll give them the response that their human gets. Does that sound good? Cool. All right, let's bring them back. Aubrey!
33 40 638N 106 28517W.
All right, as you guys are talking with this dude, and he's holding his nose and talking about how he has this like personal research bullshit or whatever, Fruman's sulking in the back because, again, he wanted to approach this differently. Fruman just yells out, I don't get it. You fuckers don't have the knowledge, the education, the pedigree, the money, the materials, the infrastructure. All of this is bullshit. You shouldn't be able to. You obviously, talking with you idiots, you can't do this. I don't know how you've done it, who you stole it from, but this is obviously super fucked. And you need to tell us right now exactly what the fuck is going on. Invoking this like demon bullshit with this fucking book. Go to hell. What the fuck is going on?
As that's happening, I think both of you with your successful humans understand that Cardiff is worried about his relationship with Egon, and that this is much more of a personal matter, their relationship, than it is anything with the scholarly stuff or with any of the research stuff. You've got Cardiff standing in the door in his pajamas, staring wide-eyed, unsure of how to react. As that's happening, or having this dawning realization that like this is not, it has nothing to do with any of the research, any of the anything, and that this is something personal between the two of them for two people who have been in a long-term relationship.
Oh.
I just hold out a hand, like kind of open, almost take my hand to Cardiff with kind of like a I'm sorry expression.
Fruman, you see Fredrickson kind of like cock his head and go, oh, this isn't about the research or notoriety. This is about your own relationship. You mean to tell me that you have been dabbling in whatever the fuck this is, potential demonology summoning for your own personal gain? Like just for personal reasons. You've put so many people in at risk for this.
Cardiff is like,
where is it? Where's...
Can you come in? Do you want to come in? Can you come in?
Yes. And I motion towards Fruman, and I'm like, come on, go in.
Do I need my saw?
Sure, bring the saw.
So like after you guys both blow up at him, I sort of turn around at you two indignant. I still don't say anything, but then I kind of like push you guys back and out of the way and then turn around to Cardiff. I don't want to go in this house. And I like put my arm on his shoulder like a friendly thing, and I kind of am like,
FP, you can drop the act. And then I shrug and I'm like, whatever. He can continue to not talk if he doesn't want to. So they go for a walk.
Do you want to go on a walk then?
FP, you want to go alone to walk?
I point at myself and him, and I do like small
like
walk.
Short walk?
I point like at the end of the sidewalk.
FP, please talk. Like I'm literally begging you to talk.
At this point, I just like get frustrated, and I just grab Cardiff by the hand and pull him out of the house and start to walk away. And I walk like to the street, like 30 feet away.
Okay.
I walk over to the rodeo. Do we have the butt plug in the rodeo?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I rolled a 14 on a 65 luck.
If you want the butt plug in the rodeo, you can have the butt plug in the rodeo.
Did you secretly set up like a housing device like I did for the saw? Like it's always with us?
The butt plug's always there. It's on the other side of the back of the rodeo.
Yeah, no, FP is not that in tune to this shit yet. But so essentially, as Cardiff's standing there, I walk over, I pull the butt plug out of the rodeo, I walk back, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm like, what does this look like like to you?
Well, honestly, a butt plug.
You're not wrong. That's what it looks like to me, too. Do you think this thing is dangerous?
Well, in the wrong hands, yes.
Well, you're not wrong. In normal hands, is this dangerous?
I don't know what this butt plug thing is.
Are butt plugs dangerous? Generally speaking.
That's the episode name.
No.
Good. Now that we've established that this thing that looks like a butt plug is probably not a danger to anyone, let me tell you, this thing killed my entire fucking family. This shit that you are like flipping through a book for, it might seem benign. I see you laughing, Cardiff. Shut the fuck up or I will headbutt you again. God damn it. And I put my arm around his neck like I will. And I'm like, listen, you stupid fuck.
Butt killed your family.
Yes, a stupid supernatural butt plug killed my family. What the fuck is not to understand about that?
Noted.
So, you recognize that it's completely stupid that this thing killed my entire family. And yet, how much more danger do you think that a fucking demon book would be to your family? Do you understand what I'm saying? You're a fucking doctor of some kind. Are you that dumb?
No. Well, I hope
apparently
not.
you fucking are. Jesus, dude. What the hell?
Listen, I don't know what any of this shit is, but
obviously
our Egon has been different over the last couple weeks.
And you think this has something to do with it?
Yes.
What? So he's summoning demons?
Well, he was given some cufflinks a couple weeks ago.
That said bodice? With the weird little, like, squigglies and a thing and a circle
yes.
and, like, some eyes and some tits or whatever?
Correct.
Truman goes, these?
Since he got those, it was some sort of, I don't know, maybe scholarly group that he was inducted in by Harrow. And he brought those home and he changed. He's been up all night. He's in the fucking basement right now.
Yeah, he's on drugs, dummy.
Well, I've been trying to find them, and I haven't found any drugs in our home. And I have gone through with a fine-tooth comb.
Is there a chance you could collect some of his piss? Sorry, that's off topic. Keep going.
Yes, I can easily get his piss.
What's in your basement?
You've sauntered over?
Yeah.
The basement's where he does a lot of his work.
Is there anything strange?
No, I go down there and it's just his desk and he's scribbling shit everywhere. It's like his office. His home office is in the basement.
Okay.
He's barely been sleeping. I found these cufflinks. I've been searching online about them and it brought me to this. So I reached out.
Does he still have his cufflinks?
Yeah, he still has them. I think he doesn't really wear them. They're just like up in our bedroom.
Okay. And where did you get this book?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Before we moved here, we had lived in a couple different places. I didn't really ever want to come here, but unfortunately, this is my lot in life. I reached out to somebody at the Miskatonic University looking for this, and it's on. I needed this book because the forums were saying that whatever the fuck that the bonus, whatever that is, was some form of demonology, which is confusing because this is obviously a Christian university. I kind of leveraged some information I had about one of the professors there to get this book.
Okay, so you haven't done any rituals.
That's a strange question. No.
The FP just looks at you like, do you guys know people?
No, not at all.
This is the one circumstance where like things are flipped and FP is just like, I wish these guys would just shut up and let this guy talk. He's singing like a bird. Just let him sing.
Fruman at this point is like so irritated that he brought up demonology at a Christian university. I'm just like, let me tell you about God has child with woman who he doesn't somehow have sex with, grows up as carpenter, somehow starts a cult, dies, and then is resurrected as a zombie, and you want to talk shit about demonology?
Yeah, not particularly a Christian here, so...
Yeah, also, obviously.
Sure.
I'm just saying that it's like barely a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah, I mean, you believe in one, you believe in the other, sure. I just didn't understand what the fuck this symbol was.
Hey, so, hey, John, do you know a guy named Glenn Taylor?
I think I've heard of him. He's one of the adjuncts that they've hired recently, right?
He might be able to help you out. He's helping us out, and he seems like a pretty chill guy and open to whatever you've got going on here. So when this is all said and done, you should probably talk to Glenn. I think he could help you out in multiple ways. All that said, I think Egon is getting himself in deep. I'm afraid that Egon may not even be Egon anymore. I'm sorry, that was kind of harsh. That might be a bit much.
Are you saying he gone?
Wow, he's taking this
if that's how you want to cope, then sure.
Fruman has a terrible human and has thus far not understood like almost any of this conversation except for like the sort of like academic aspects. But when he hears like, I don't think Egon is actually Egon, and he's like thinking about the basement office, he just grabs the chainsaw and walks inside.
Ooh, okay.
Hey, John, I think we're going to need you to help us out here a lot. And if you care about Egon at all, his life and potentially yours are going to depend on what you do next. I don't really have much control over this guy because I'm new here. Let's go.
Yeah, the chainsaw makes me worried.
Me too. It's extremely large and has weird symbols on it. He cut through concrete like butter.
As a little bit of a retcon, you could probably, if you wanted to like explain it to like a, I don't pick up on like social cues sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's what Fruman wants to do. And
Yeah,
so like
sure.
if it is imperative that you wanted to stop, like I don't think he would stop you, but like he's just like, oh shit.
Yeah, so Fruman hears Egon may not be Egon, and then he grabs his chainsaw and starts marching towards the door.
He was already ready to be over with this, and he's just like, whatever like fucking like demonology like bullshit. He was just like, I'm tired of this. Like, we have all of the information, like, scientifically that we need, and so everything else beyond this is vector stuff.
Truman Q. Lavelle.
He just, like, stops and pivots on his heel, turns back towards you on, like, the front porch, chainsaw in hand.
I agree with you that this whole demon thing is bullshit. Demons, like, what the fuck does that even mean? I don't know. That sounds... So let me put it to you this way. A lot of times, we use words for drugs that aren't the name of the drugs because that makes it easier to talk about things and not get in trouble. I'm pretty sure these people are using the word demon for something other than demon. And I've only done this for like 6 months. You've been doing it for years. You have to have seen things that you can, on your borderline spectrum level of comprehension, equate to something that you could reasonably understand someone calling a demon, right? I mean, you've got fucking, what, Coreg, Carvedal, never mind, that FP wouldn't know that. My point is there are brand names for drugs and there are the generic names of drugs. Demon is a brand name for some kind of drug that there's a generic version of. Do you understand that? That's what's happening here, I think. I don't know. There's weird voodoo shit happening. Also, clearly this guy is in love with the person in there as much as you're in love with your Monsters, Inc. secretary. So maybe imagine that you are a bystander. Like, would you want me pulling out a chainsaw and going after your Monsters, Inc. secretary, even if I thought that your Monsters, Inc. secretary was into some weird brand name demon TM shit? Do you understand what I'm saying?
He just shakes his head because he absolutely does not understand what you're saying.
Okay, you know when you look, you're the demon expert. If you want to go in, chainsaws ablazing, that's fine. Not really demon. Weird. Xena and Hercules, they fight like, I don't know, what's some Greek
throwback
shit, like
Hydra.
Yeah, Hydra, like Hydras, or the snake woman with the hair and the stone. Those aren't real, but like they're a proxy for something that may have existed, right? Like you can process that, yeah?
Yep, got it.
This might be something like that. Maybe it's not. The point is, this guy here...
What is this guy doing?
He's trying to figure out what is happening to the person he loves.
He's just a bit misguided on how he was going about it.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is maybe he can give us some information. Maybe going in and chainsawing this guy, even if it is a guy. I don't know if it's not him.
We probably could get information about this without going about it this way and bringing this much attention to ourselves.
Thank you.
So you guys are going to not try to control the vector for
I'm going to
story?
Try to go inside and not use the fucking chainsaw right away.
Yeah, I would prefer the chainsaw not go into Egon.
That's a sweet chainsaw, by the way.
It's pretty fucking cool, but not an Aegon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were invited into this house, so let's walk into the house and go into the basement.
Okay, I just want to everyone be clear. So, guys in love with him, they have demon book, which you all apparently believe in. People are saying that Egon may not be Egon anymore and maybe something else as we walk in with the demon book, and you don't want me to bring the chainsaw?
You can bring the chainsaw, but you don't need to have it going as we walk down the fucking stair.
Again, looks cool. Prefer not an Aegon.
I hadn't turned it on. What sort of monster do you think I am?
Okay.
I watch rom-coms. I've been trying to get Amelia to go to one with me for years.
I'm like, don't lie to yourself. I don't really give a shit about their love story. I'm trying to figure this out without, having somebody call the cops on us here tonight. So,
Fredrickson, control vector.
that is what I'm literally fucking doing. Let's go into the house. We walk in the house.
You guys walk in the house. Is that okay? Is everybody walking in the house?
Yeah.
I think at this point, FP is like, all right, maybe I did my part, and now it's escalated above my head again.
No, Furman's not like demanding this. He's just like tired of.
Yeah, no, I mean, you basically raise points that FP is like, oh, I kind of slipped back into my normal human world.
Yeah.
Because I identify with this guy being worried about his family being killed by weird shit.
Right.
But then you're like, this is maybe not the normal human world. And I'm like, dang it. Yeah, okay. All right.
So I think what we're going to do, you guys walk in with Cardiff leading you, and Cardiff is like, the whole induction ceremony, all the shit he got from it, including those fucking cufflinks that caught my eye, are over there. And he points as you guys walk in to a table, and on the table are cufflinks, a certificate that says the 17 Sons. Underneath it, it says in honor of Matthew Harrow the First, and it just says Matthew Harrow. And then there is what looks like a textbook that is written by Matthew Harrow, the father of the current dean, and it's like commemorative textbook. The textbook is entitled The Life Cycle and Biology of Cicadas.
FP doesn't really walk past like the threshold of the door, like he steps inside and that's it. He kind of lets you guys examine this stuff after John says the thing about the 17th son and the whatever ritual stuff is over there. And then FP is kind of like, hey, huddle. John, can you give us a minute, like earmuffs, like put your fingers in and do this thing with the twisties?
Yeah, just do the bird thing to bring me back. He walks away.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that whole 17th thing, whatever, that was the name of the demon, right? Like clearly they're doing some kind of demon ritual. Again, I'm going to follow your guys' lead, but if we're supposed to control the vector and they're doing demon rituals here, I don't want to kill Egon if Egon's not gone beyond the point of saving. But if Egon's in the basement and we're supposed to control the vector, how about we just open the door to the basement and shout, hey, Egon, if you're not insane, get out now because we're burning your house down. And then we just light the place on fire. And then we just wait outside. John doesn't want to be here anyway, it sounds like.
I have to pee, and I'm going to let you guys discuss this, and then you're going to come and tell me what you're doing.
I mean, chainsaw, sure, that's a cool-ass chainsaw. I would love to see you do some John Woo-esque shit, but with a chainsaw instead, or Jackie Chan if that's your flavor. But I'd rather not get that close. Once again, I fled for my life from a situation like this not 6 months ago. I don't really want to go into any enclosed spaces with any demon rituals.
FP, we're putting a tick mark in your bad idea.
Okay.
Column. I get where you're coming from, and we picked you up at sort of probably the worst moment of your life. And this is coming from someone who doesn't really understand emotions, but seems bad to lose everyone you know. I would feel bad if I lost Fredrickson.
It's not great.
And I guess maybe even you. Maybe.
He sheds a single tear at that. And then at the he's like, okay. I know that was hard for you to say.
Shut up. If you could have prevented all of the deaths from your friends by taking action now, I think you would have done it. This is one person who brought this upon themselves, and it's our job to control it so that way it doesn't happen to anybody else. So if you don't want this to happen to anybody else, the same thing that happened to you and all of your friends and your loved ones, this is what we do. You don't get to wear your heart on your sleeve and sort of try to make happy ever after love stories happen.
We burn the house down now without shouting downstairs. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Do we have anything God damn it. Okay.
Welcome to the opera.
I think FP just like turns around and walks out to the rodeo, and then you guys talk about whatever you want. I'll be back in like 30 seconds is what he says.
Can I do a quick, like as he leaves, as Fredrickson I think is going to get ready to talk, can I do a quick roll on the textbook?
Yeah, what are you looking to do?
I don't know. I just want to look like, is it just about cicadas, like the 17 sons, the 17th demon, the 17-year cycle of the cicadas? Can I just do like a quick like leaf through it and like, is this like a biology book or is this like some other like random like occult bullshit?
No, you pick up the book, you look through it, and what you see is this looks like the life work of what would be the dean's father, and it is truly like he is a biologist and he has studied cicadas all of his life, and it looks like when you're going through citations there's a bunch of his own shit that he's cited in there. This is who Harrow Sr. is and like what he's always been about, and it is just cicada stuff. It is not in any way, shape, or form the occult text. We're honoring Harrow Sr. here. We've created the 17 sons because of the cicada life cycle bullshit, and this is the textbook he wrote.
That gives Fruman a little bit of pause. Oh no.
What is that?
He's giving us a timer before he burns down the house.
Oh.
You got 3 minutes roughly, and then I'm coming back.
Yeah, as that's happening, I just opened the door and I walked downstairs.
Okay.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, I'm like they're all just like I'm like fuck this. I'm just gonna go down there and see what he's doing.
Okay.
As Fredrickson walks downstairs, Fruman turns to Cardiff and points the tip of his chainsaw at him, and then towards the door to the basement. Fucking walk.
No,
Well,
we just
everybody
all
followed
decided
your
to do
lead.
it. Yeah, well, it's because you were the one who broke the circle.
I broke the seal of Botus. Botus, the demon of bladder.
And fashion.
And fashion.
And knowledge.
Yeah, Botus is about knowledge, bladders, and fashion.
The 3 B's.
The 3 B's.
Botus. Bladders.
Botus, bladder, fashion, knowledge.
All right, marry, fuck, kill.
Yeah,
bladder,
marry, fuck, kill. Bladder,
knowledge,
knowledge, fashion.
fashion.
Wait. What?
Yeah, I'd probably marry bladder.